Hi everyone and welcome to Day Lectura. This initial video is going to be a general tour of my library in progress. I've just moved into this house less than a month ago and the library has been moving along little by little. I've run out of space. I'm waiting for my next bookshelf, which is going to fill this particular space, and then I can show you what it looks like then. Right now, just let me give you a general view of my library. Stuff that I have that I'll go into detail as we go along. So let's start here. This is the first bookshelf. I'm going through my reading, etc. chronologically, and these are all arranged beginning to end. So I started with ancient history. You'll notice things like the Iliad and the Odyssey, etc. I have different formats like graphic novels and children's editions of them because I love to see the different formats. All this here is Greek history, plays, epic poetry, philosophy. This second shelf continues on, and you're going to notice a piece of paper here. That means we're now moving into ancient Roman history. You can see I have the Aeneid there, Plutarch's Lives, etc., early church history, etc. Another piece of paper. This is a really small section, but that'll grow. This section here we've now shifted into medieval history, and that continues on into the early Renaissance. You're going to see that I have a combination of Penguin Classics Deluxe as well as folio editions. A lot of these books were in storage for years. I forgot a lot of stuff I had. Here's another piece of paper. Now we're shifting into late Renaissance, and then moves into early modern. I found I had an entire collection of the Jane Austen books. Oh my gosh, that was a great find. Bottom shelf. We continue on with late Renaissance, early modern. You see my Penguin Classics there, and there's a piece of paper. So now we're shifting into early modern, which starts around 1850. That collection has been growing steadily over the last year. Pretty much ends at this bottom shelf. If you look over here, those are stacked and stapled copies of different people's suggested great books reads. And I love printing them out, going through the list, checking off to see what I have, what I don't have, new titles to explore. I have a lot of fun with that. Over here is my Shakespeare shelf. That's growing. And of course, I get the different forms of that as well. You'll notice some of them are like No Fear Shakespeare, Folger editions, graphic novels. That's been cool. These books on the end are books that have been published by family members that I've also enjoyed reading as well. Now we're headed into children's literature. So I have fairy tales, all folio editions, Alice in Wonderland, The Wind in the Willows, my favorite children's book, the J.R. Tolkien folio collection, I have Narnia. I have, let's see, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Oh, that's such a cool book. And down here we have the books by Cornelia Funk, Camillo. I also have Christopher Paolini's writings. I have the series by Ransom Riggs of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Those are all first editions. Down here it continues on with children's literature, and then it stops because I've gotten more, but I just haven't organized them yet. These are the extras that I've stopped at, that I'm like, what do I want to do with these? How am I going to organize these? Over here, I have my graphic novels, and some is classic literature, some is modern day stuff. At the end, that's a pop-up book of a Stephen King book. We'll go over that later. Now, I love reference as well. It's I don't know, maybe it's genetic, who knows, but I love reference. So, U.S. history references and Mexican history references and Spanish language references. I'm a Spanish major in college, so that would make sense. Classic books in Spanish. I also have educational and other references. Why don't we just say that? Atlases, history reference, science references, timetables, art history, oh gosh, what do I call it? Like the History of the World series, which is really cool. That's by Susan Wise Bauer. And down here on the bottom shelf, I've got, these books are about education, educational systems, this specifically classical education. And on this side is a lot of books on writing and researching. Bottom shelf here, we have coloring books, adult coloring books, which I'm fascinated by, but I should do more of it. Over here on the right, I have my art, books on various artists, which I'm enjoying an awful lot. I have to get those sitting up right now. I'm worried about damaging those bottom copies. And I've always collected different, like religious references, Quran, and I just like doing that. And over the years, I've collected all these different editions of Bibles, English and Spanish. And this here are biblical references like commentaries and dictionaries and atlases, etc. Next shelf are religious references as well. I call this my Protestant section, but that's a little anemic, but that's going to build up over time as I work my way through history. And then this other shelf here and the shelf below it, I call the Catholic shelves, because they've had more time to collect than the Protestant one, obviously. And that's just got a mix. It's got, you know, historical, it's got topical, etc. I don't need to go into all those. These are all the ones that I've yet to organize. I have books on, like, this over here would be, I think, curriculums and different learning, because that interests me. So I get it. More references, dictionaries, thesauruses, etc. I'm not sure what's in that box. I'll find out eventually. There's another box. And another box. And books that I'm reading right now, and books that I just got at the store a couple days ago, and yeah. And over here is more stuff. So as this library progresses and I start finding a place for everything, it's going to look so much better, and it's just going to be neat to grow with the rest of you as I get this organized and categorized. And I am absolutely open to everybody's suggestions, because it's a bigger job than I realized. This is my special cabinet where I keep my Harry Potter collection. And over here are the first edition UK. Over here is first edition US. Over here are the house editions. It's a combination of Hufflepuff and Gryffindor. These are the Harry Potter books in Spanish. These are the Mina Lima editions. They're so beautiful. Down here I have the illustrated editions, and these are all from the UK. They are not the US editions. Over here I have Paperback UK Editions. And over here are the other ones, like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And I think there's one there on Harry Potter and philosophy and coloring books. A little dark in there. I'm going to light that up eventually. It's going to look really neat. So this is a work in progress, people. And as time goes on and I cover more specific topics, you're going to see this library grow and look much, much prettier as we go along. Thanks for sitting through my little intro, and I look forward to seeing the rest of you next time. Bye-bye.